So, hi everybody. Today we have a really awesome guest. And why don't you introduce yourself a little bit? What's your name? Where you from?
My name is Emanuele Marini. I am from Misinto in the North Italy,
Uh-huh.
and I studied philosophy and law,
Okay.
and
Philosophy law.
I like to speak a lot of languages.
I
But
see.
my English is not very good. I am better in German or Polish or Serbian, Russian, Turkish, Greek, but my English is not very good.
I see. I see. You're okay. So how many language can you speak?
So depends on the level. Basic level, I can speak 30, 35 languages. Level, I can speak 15 or 18, but it depends. It
Like
depends. So if you think that Croatian and Serbian are one language or two languages, uh,
okay.
but the passive knowledge is easier. So passive knowledge, it is. So I have a much bigger passive knowledge. For example, I can understand also some small language of Eastern Europe.
I see. I see.
For example, the Rusinski language, which is spoken in the northern part of Vojvodina and Serbia, and Hutorčina, which is spoken in eastern part of Slovakia, and I can understand also some dialects of Slovenian language, and all the dialects of the Serbian languge.
Wow.
Also the
Okay. That's you know.
It depends. It depends.
So okay. So we can go on for a long time, you know. So depending on the level
Of the level,
on the
and
level
the passive knowledge is bigger than the active
yeah,
knowledge.
the passive or depend on level and also depend on how you count the languages. So it's between 15 to 35.
Yes, but if I really count all the language that I can understand in a passive way, it can be maybe more, but the number is not. The number is not.
Okay. Let's just settle for 15 to 35. Okay, all right. So that's really amazing, man. So how did you get in language learning in the first place? So what was your first? So I know your native tongue is Italian, right?
My mother language is Italian. Yes.
Your mother tongue. Okay. So what's the second language that you learned that you wanted to learn, not because of school, but just
not
because you
because
loved
of
it?
school. So in the school we had English and as compulsory language,
Yes.
and German as not compulsory language. So I have chosen to learn German. We had 2 hours free time in the school in the afternoon, and I have chosen to learn German in these 2 hours.
This was when you were in high school?
Yeah, in the high school, yes.
In high school. So why? Why did you take your 2 hours free that you
because
took it to
it
learn
was
German?
for me better than making sport or
That's your
making,
sport. That's like your
yes,
hobby.
yes.
I see. You had fun. So you just why is that? I'm really interested in why is that? What tick? Because I want to hear like how do you say? Some things make people tick. Like learning languages tick. I just want to understand why. Like why learning language is like doing sports for you.
I don't know really because I like to travel very much.
You like travel very much, yes?
Yes, and we are here. I live near the Swiss border.
Okay.
So for me, it is very easy to go to Switzerland.
Yeah.
And the German language is very important in Switzerland.
Yeah.
So at the age of 16, I decided to learn these 2 hours a week German in the school to go in Switzerland to holiday in the summer.
I see. Now that's good. That's good. I still got it. So you want to learn different languages
for
too.
the travel, for the travel.
For the traveling, for seeing the world.
Yes, yes.
For seeing the world. Okay, so that's what you're 16. May I ask how old you are now?
I am 39.
You're 39.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm seeing my math is really bad. How many?
So 39 minus in 23 years I am learning.
Okay, so in the 23 years, now you can speak between 15 to 30 languages. So okay, after you got German down, then what happened? You went like, oh wow, I want to learn more like that, and you just start learning more?
Yes, then I started to learn Polish to go to Poland. Poland in the age of 18. And then in the meantime, I had the possibility to learn ancient Greek, because in the school we had only Latin.
Yeah.
And then I started to learn ancient Greek by myself.
Okay.
In the same time German and Polish. But now I have the problem that I speak almost all European language, because my interest is East Europe. I am not interested in Western Europe.
I see.
So I travel to Western Europe seldom, but to East Europe I travel every week, because I feel myself more comfortable in Eastern Europe.
I see.
Everything is better for me, and I have a bigger motivation to learn every dialect, every language in Eastern Europe.
In Eastern Europe, wow.
Yes, Polish, Czechish, Czech, Slovak, Hungarian, Romanian, and so on. Because I really like Eastern Europe, and then I really like Iran. I really like Middle Asia, so Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and I hope in the future to learn these languages.
Yeah.
I like also Russia, Albania. First of all, Serbia is my second home country.
Okay.
So I have been only 2 times in England in my life, or 3 times. To France, I go a little bit more often, because it is here not far.
Yes.
But it is not my focus.
Okay, got it. So your focus is Eastern Europe.
Eastern European countries, Iran, North Africa, and Russia, and Central Asia.
In Central Asia, including the dialects.
The dialect only in Eastern Europe.
Only in Eastern Europe. Okay,
only Slavic languages.
That's a lot of languages in 20-something years. And okay, when there's a new language, for example, you want to learn a completely new language. Can you give me an example? What's a language that you don't know at all that you want to learn?
So I can take an example. Now I have here. I take a book.
Okay.
I hope I have the book here. Yes, I have the book here.
So we want to get into a completely new language. What's your
approach?
It is
completely new for me.
What's the approach and how do you learn it? Okay, let's tell me.
For example, it is Georgian language, Gruzinski jazyk.
What was this?
Gruzinski, Georgian.
Georgian. Okay.
Georgian. So I have here a book.
You buy a book? Okay.
Yes. It is written in Russian. But it is about the Georgian language. So I have here the alphabet, Gruzinski alphabet, and then I start learning the alphabet, and then I start reading something.
Okay.
Yes. And I start picking up some words.
Okay.
So it is completely new for me. So the personal pronouns here. So I, you, he, she, it, and so on.
Yeah.
And I start making some sentences. It is better if I have someone in internet which whom I can make a correspondence, email or Skype or chat,
Yeah.
something very easy.
So this is what you do. You buy a book. Doesn't matter what
Yes.
book it is.
No, it must be so I can show the books of Georgian language which I have.
He has a lot of books. He showed me a few already before.
I have.
Wow.
So it is a classical book for Georgia, Einführung in die georgische Sprache.
Okay.
It is a classic book.
So you buy a few books of your target language first.
Yes. And very important, the dictionary.
And a dictionary.
And the dictionary. I can show it. With Georgian, I am lucky because in Switzerland there is a very good edition. So, for example, Deutsch-Georgisch Wörterbuch.
What is that?
It is the dictionary German-Georgian.
Georgian.
So if I want to write the first sentence, maybe today the weather is good.
Yeah.
I learn some grammar and I search every word in the dictionary.
Yeah.
So today, so heute ist das Wetter schön. Ja, dann suche ich heute.
Ja.
Heute, ist hier geschrieben. Heute irgendwo. Und dann heute, ich muss jedes Wort im Wörterbuch finden und dann die verschiedenen Sätze bilden. So I must look for the search each word in the dictionary and then adapt the sentence. It takes some time at the beginning.
Yeah.
But it is very important to do this exercise.
I see. So let me give it back to you. So your approach is actually very simple.
Mm-hmm.
You first get a basic book.
Yes.
And just to you can understand grammar and
some words. Yes, the structure of the language.
And
in the case of Gruzinski, of Georgian, the structure is very different because it is not an Indo-European language.
Okay. So and then you look at the structure, and then when you want to say something, you look in the dictionary, finding the book using those structures.
Yes.
And then what? Do you write it down or what?
Yes, if it is necessary. Normally, yes. Usually, I write it in email because I need to write something to somebody.
Okay.
Dear friend, the weather today is very nice. I go this afternoon to the mountain and so on, and I want to write it in the target language.
Yeah.
So it is important to have somebody to build up a communication. It makes no sense for me to make exercises without which are not useful for me.
I see. So you basically you have a friend or email or Skype or something to someone. So you think, okay, I want to tell this person something, and then you go in your books and you look and and then you write it out and then you send it to your friend.
The exercise it begins. Здравствуй, hello, как поживаешь? How are you? Спасибо, хорошо.
Yeah.
Fine, thanks. Вы как поживаете? Хорошо. Я рад, что ты пришел. Входи. It is in Russian because for me is Russian is not a problem.
Yeah.
And then from Russian I learn the Georgian language.
Okay.
They make these exercises, but I make only at the very beginning because after when I already pick up some structure of the language and some words, I start writing on my own messages, email, because it is very important to have something to say to the other person.
Yeah.
Something from you, not only the exercise in the book.
Got it.
because the exercise in the book can be very dry, can be...
I can see how, and also helps you practice putting together the sentences.
Yes, because if you need something to say something, it is easier for you to memorize the words.
I see. And then doing the work to find out how to say it.
Yes, because if I have to say, I go today to the mountain, I will memorize the word go, the word mountain.
Yeah.
Because it is easy, because I need it.
I see.
So the need is a key to memorize something.
Okay.
If you don't need it, you will never memorize. You can learn it for the exam.
Yeah.
But the day after the exam, and the exams, you will forget it.
I see. If you don't need it, you won't. You will forget it.
If you don't, yes.
I see. Wow. Okay. So you start with the written parts first, right?
The written part, yes, because I can write 30 languages or 35, but I can speak less.
You can speak less. Okay. So how do you get how did you get yourself to start speaking those languages?
I need to go to the country where the language is spoken.
I see. And then so after you have some kind of foundation, some kind of base of the written language, then you go to the country and just start practicing.
Yes, because the first day, the first 2 days, people say me, you are speaking as a book, as a written book. Yes, of course, because my approach is a written approach.
I see.
The first day I speak as a book, a written book. I don't have other possibilities.
I see. Interesting. So, but eventually, of course, if you speak it long enough with people, then you start changing. You start learning.
Yes.
Anyways,
of course.
In the beginning, I'm sure it sounds like that.
The beginning.
But because of how you're familiar with the written form, it gives you because one of our friend Alex said that not just your range of language, your depth of knowledge of the language is very deep. So this is this is why, because you start with the written form first.
Yes, I start with the written form, with the orthography. Orthography is very important.
The what?
The orthography.
What does that
mean? Rechtschreibung.
What does that mean?
Orthography is the correct way to write something.
You mean like for example, like Chinese, you need to do
No. Orthography.
The correct.
You want to write the word write. It is written WRITE.
Yeah.
So you need to know it, how the words are written.
Oh, I see. How the words is construct, like spelling the word in the English.
Yes,
term.
Orthography is, I think, in English is.
So you mean like for example, there's an accent or something like that. You need to know the accent in the written form.
Yes, you know to know exactly how to write, because you must write correctly with every sign, not. You must write according to the official norms.
Yeah.
Orthography. Is it English word? Ortho.
He's searching the word for me.
Orthography, the conventional spelling system of a language. The study of spelling and how letters combine to represent sounds and form words.
I see. You see how fast he found it on the dictionary? That's lots of practice.
Yes.
Lots of practice. That's why you're so good at finding the words.
Yes.
Okay, I see.
I can show you another dictionary because I have a lot. So, for example, I can show you this. This is very important. It is Dictionary of Orthography in the Ukrainian language.
Okay.
And this is Słownik ortograficzny języka polskiego. It is orthographical dictionary of the Polish language.
Okay.
So if you want to write, for example, let me see a difficult word in Polish. Smażony. It is, I think in English it is fried. The problem is how to write this word because it can be.
What's the difference between that dictionary that you're showing me and a regular dictionary?
It is only a list of words. And you find the correct writing form for each word.
Like for example, like in German, it changes different forms.
Die Rechtschreibung, ja genau.
So it will say like, you know, all the different forms in one section, like it lists us out. In a list.
Yes, for example, if you have the Polish word rzeczywiście, how to write it? Because this pronunciation can be confused between two writing forms.
Yeah.
You must choose the correct one.
Yeah.
So if you know the orthography, you will write R, Z, E, C, Z, and so on. If you don't know the correct norm, you can write. You can begin with Z and 1 point on the Z on the letter.
So let me ask you. So why is this important? Why is this important?
Because if you write, you must write correctly.
So what if I'm a person that I only want to speak? I don't really care about writing.
If you only want to speak, yes, but what do you do in the case of homophone, homograph, and homophones?
What?
So I will explain you. Homophones.
I only want to learn how to speak the language. Do I need to write?
Yes, but if you have the case of the homophone words, each homophone is each of two or more words having the same pronunciation but different meanings, origins, or spellings. So if you have two words having the identical pronunciation,
yes,
but two different writing forms,
yeah,
and two different meanings.
Yeah.
If you only speak, you will have difficulties to.
So you're telling me that by knowing how to write the word, then it'll give me, basically in my head, I'll have two different words instead of one word. Because if I don't know how to speak, there's only one word but few different meanings.
Yes, but if you know how the words are written, you don't have any problem, because in your mind you will you can see, imagine the words written in your mind, and you will distinguish between them.
Yeah, you can distinguish the difference between them, even if their pronunciation is identical.
Yes. Now I cannot write. I cannot find an example.
It's okay. We understand. I think people understand what you're saying. Why writing is important. Interesting. Is that it? So that's it? That's your whole approach?
Yes, written approach. So it is the same approach that we use in the high school to learn ancient Greek and Latin language.
Okay.
The spoken language comes after the written language.
Interesting.
I know that the contemporary method give the accent, the stress on the spoken language.
Yeah.
But I meet everyday people who can speak a language, but they cannot write it.
Yeah.
And if they start writing, they make horrible mistakes.
So if they don't know how to write, they write homophones in the speaking when they're speaking it. Is that what you mean?
Yes. But writing is important. I find in Serbia sometimes I find also native speakers who make mistakes in writing.
Okay, I see. I understand. So even though your approach is quite traditional.
Yes.
Right. But I guess there's goods and bad in a different approach. You know, maybe people focus on speaking, even though maybe they can speak fast, but you can hear the mistakes because you know the written form, how it's supposed to be written.
Yes, and they make maybe also mistakes in the structure of the sentence.
I see.
Maybe.
I see. Wow,
but
this is
the
very
mistakes
interesting.
are very important. We must make mistakes because we learn from mistakes.
Yes.
So fear for mistakes is not a good thing. We must have the courage to speak, to write, to use the language. At the beginning, we make mistakes, but they are not important.
So it's okay to make mistakes, you mean?
In written form, mistakes are more visible because the written form remains on the paper.
You can see it.
Yes, we can see it always.
I see.
So I try to focus to get a stronger ability in writing.
Yeah.
For this reason, when I go to the examination for in the new language, it is always difficult for me. The most difficult part for me is the listening ability and speaking ability. I never have problem in the grammar test, the writing test, and in the comprehension test. I never have problem.
Wow, that's very interesting.
I can open now a text, a book in Russian language, and I can understand everything, but I am not able to speak at the same level.
Okay, so let me ask you another question. So how long? So for example, when you start a brand new language like Georgian, right? So how long does it take for you to go through all what your approach to until you're able to speak it?
To speak or to write?
To speak. Oh, let's say writing first. That you're comfortable.
Write 3 months.
3 months, okay.
Yes. To speak, it is speaking is much more difficult. I will need all my life to speak a language good. Well,
but you already can speak a lot of good different languages. So
yes, but Serbian, for example, I started. I bought the book in December. In January, I wrote my first email.
Yeah.
And then...
When did you write your first email?
So it was in January 1998, and I started in December 1997. Yeah. So 1 month to write, and then to speak. Even now, I continuously learn something. How to speak, new words, because the knowledge of a language is a lifelong task.
Yeah, it's never ending.
It will never ending. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But in 3 months, I can pick up enough to survive in the country or to write the text, some easy text about me, about my travels, and so on.
Just written? You're talking about just written?
At the beginning, yes.
I see. Interesting.
Only
So it doesn't take that long to. So what I hear is you focus on writing for the first 3 months?
No, yes, because it is not difficult. You
And
build
doesn't
up
take that
the
long.
structure in your mind,
Yeah.
and then you must only fill this empty structure.
Yeah.
You fill it with words.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have the structure
Yeah.
of the building,
Yeah.
and you fill the building with the words.
Yeah. Interesting. So it doesn't take that long. It's like, when I say you need to write it, I'm like, oh, I always think that speaking faster, but writing, that's very, very interesting.
Writing Chinese is different because you must learn all the signs.
Yes.
But writing a language with alphabet is much more easy.
I see.
Because you only learn 40, 50 signs, and you use them to write. So
like the alphabet, like 30 or 40
Yes.
different alphabets,
Yes.
and then you can put them together in the words.
yes, it is not a problem.
Wow, this is really awesome. Thank you so much. So, okay, I have one last question. Now,
Yes.
So can you tell me your best story ever that happened because you know how to speak a language?
So I have a lot of stories.
I'm sure you do. Just pick one.
Yes. So one day at the border between Romania and Hungary, I was in the train, and there comes the border control, the Romanian border control, and then I start speaking Romanian.
Yeah.
Then it comes the Hungarian border control, and I start speaking Hungarian.
Yeah.
And they ask me, "Where are you from?" I am from Italy. It is the Italian passport and Italian document. Yes, it is falsified. It falls not. You printed this document at home because you are not Italian. You are Romanian man who speaks also a little bit Hungarian. No, I am not Romanian. I am not Romanian. So take me. Do you have something written in Italian language in your bag? So I searched in the bag. I found a book. Yes, it is Italian book. Please read it. I read it a little bit. They say, no, not good. Your pronunciation, Italian pronunciation, not. So you are Romanian person. I will put you in prison this night.
You what?
And I will put you in jail. I will arrest you.
What?
Night. And I say, no, please, no, I am Italian. And then the Hungarian border controller say, yes, maybe he's Italian. He is only a student, so don't worry about him. And the Romanian border controller say, yes, this time I will let you cross the border, but next time, please have with you the Romanian passport.
So it got you in trouble.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yes, but
that's a funny story. Okay, wow. Thank you so much.
It was funny. It was so funny.
Thank you so much for sharing those story with us, and also what's your approach of learning a language.
Yes, I hope it will be help also for other people. So I think writing is much more important than speaking.
I see.
And then speaking comes in the second stage.
I see.
And I have a lot of dictionaries.
Yes. See,
I have 400 dictionaries.
400 dictionaries. Wow, that's a really big cabinet.
To you.
Thank you for proudly sharing.
Thank you very much. and I hope next time we will speak another language.
We will.
I hope we will speak Chinese, Mandarin. I hope, or Arabian, inshallah, or Farsi, or Serbian, or Hungarian maybe, or Armenian.
Okay. So what I learned from this interview is that, you know, I after the conference, 'cause I met you at the Polyglot conference, right?
Yes.
In the conference, I
Are very heavy now.
I want to see you. I don't want to see Dictionary. I want to see you, man. Okay. So so at the conference, I saw many different people with different approach, with different success.
Yes.
Learning how to speak the language. But for you, what I see is you master your approach.
Yes. Really, thank you. But sorry for it, because I master languages which are not so widely spoken.
Yeah.
I didn't master English very well, because I really don't need it for me, because I travel usually in Eastern Europe, or in Middle East, or in North Africa, where English is really not needed. And
what I mean is I'm just talking about the approach. I'm not talking about specific language. I'm just talking about how you approach language learning, and you master the way that you learn language.
Yes.
In your way, like
really, yes.
To go into, you know, and then to go in to learn the language that you want to learn. You learn to speak, because like you know, there are many ways to. I was thinking about it the other day. Okay, there are many ways to shoot a jump shot. There are many ways to swim. How come some people swim faster? How come some people can make a shot more accurate than other people? Because they mastered.
Yes. And everybody has a method. The method is individual.
Yes.
So I can only say, if you want to buy a lot of dictionaries, you will have a written approach to the language.
I see. Okay. That's hilarious.
So yeah, I think it is a good way to learn language. The language you really need, because if you don't need a language, it remains very difficult. So the communication with people is important. Traveling is important. Also the food, because if you go to a country where you don't like the food, it will be very difficult that you come back to this country and you will find the motivation to learn something better.
Totally.
But it is language learning. I would like to say it is not only our property. We receive the language as a gift for us. So I really like the Arabic word, Alhamdulillah. When we have something good, we must say Alhamdulillah, because it is not our property. We receive it as a gift from other people, from everybody. Everybody can give us something good, and we can give something good to other people. So it is a continuous exchange of gifts. So we must say, we must be grateful for everything we get in the life.
Wow, and I'm grateful that I met you, that I get to, you know, speak with you and learn from you, and thank you so much for your time.
Oh, thank you, Brian. Thank you so much.
Okay, see ya.
Bye.
Talk to you soon.
Bye. Bye.